We have 3 broken Wiis here. I got them for about 30 Australian dollars, which is around 20 US dollars or 15 English pounds. All of them are faulty. These 2 are meant to have a faulty disk drive, as you can see written on the tape there. While this last one seems to have a visual issue. It says on the tape, flickering. I haven't tested these yet. We'll do that in a moment, so we'll see if these issues written on the tape actually are present when I do hook them up and give them a go. Their cases aren't in the best condition. You can see the top flaps are missing with these 2, and there's a screw actually missing from this this black panel here, so it's coming up off a bit. But these flaps usually do get broken off with Wiis. That's pretty common. This one is fairly intact. There's just one hinge broken there, and these 2 also are missing feet. So that could indicate someone has tried to repair it before, as you do need to take off the feet to access these tri-wing screws. I don't know if anyone's managed to open it before, how far they got, and like I say, I haven't tested them yet. So that's what I'm going to do now, give them a go, see what the issue is, see if it matches the description. So we're starting with the first of our Wii consoles. This is the one with a faulty disk drive. All of the cables and controller and game that I'm using has been tested and confirmed working. So if we do have a problem, it's going to be with the console itself. So we select AV there, and let's chuck it on. That doesn't sound quite right already. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounded already like there's a bit of a problem with that disk drive. I'm just going to sync my controller up, make sure. Okay, so far so good. Let's try a disc. I have Just Dance 2014. Like I said, I know this disc is working, so. And this way, I think, yeah. Oh. Okay. So you can hear that noise. Something's trying to happen, but it sounds like, I don't know, there might be a blockage in there. Maybe it's a really simple fix. Maybe there's stuff in this drive. Actually, I think that's quite a common thing too. Things get wedged in here, all kinds of things, and it's simply a case of taking it out. So in that case, it might be a very simple fix for this one. But we'll wait and see. So on to our next Wii. This one also has a 4E disk drive according to the eBay description. Okay, so that comes up too. Oh, we've got, looks like we've got some photos left over from whoever had it last. So let's get our Just Dance 2014 out again, and let's see what happens this time. So that goes in. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Okay. So again, similar kind of thing, it just doesn't go all the way in, which again leads me to believe there might be something stuck in there and it just can't go all the way in to read the disc. But I guess we won't find out until we open it up, which we'll do next. So now let's take a look at the one which has the visual issue. So this one is said to have a flickering screen. So I'll just start by syncing up the controller. Here we are. Okay, so I see no flickering. The eBay advertisement also said that the screen does look dark, and I see no evidence of that either. Let's try the disk drive. See if that works. According to the ad, it should work. So I can hear it trying to do something. Here we are. In order to use this software, you must perform a Wii system update. Press OK. Here we are, it seems to be coming on. Just Dance 2014. Let's go into the game. Just to make sure. Great, that seems to be working just fine. The disk drive sounds fine too. Nothing sounds too crunchy or loud. Okay, great, I'm happy with that. So it's interesting that we don't see any visual issues with this one. So on the eBay ad, it said it does get darker, the screen, and on the side it says there's some flickering, but I see neither. So I wonder if perhaps the problem gets worse the longer the Wii is on. So I left the console to run the game for over an hour and the screen never changed. I tested it a couple of times like this with the same result. So it looks like this Wii is working just fine. So it looks like the Wii console with AV issues didn't have any issues at all, at least from what I can tell. Which leads me to believe that either there is a component that's on the blink but for some reason was working well for me but will fail soon, or the person testing it had a faulty AV cable. Either way, it's working fine, which is actually a bit of a disappointment because I was looking forward to trying to fix that one, but we still have these two with faulty drive issues. Now I'm happy to say my set of tri-wing screwdrivers actually came in the post yesterday, which I'm happy to say because if you watch my Game Boy video, you'll see that I made my own tri-wing screwdriver because the post was taking so long. Well, now I have an official set of tri-wing screwdrivers here. And if you know the Wii, you know I'm going to need those because this thing has just a whole bunch of tri-wing screws all over the place. So with that, I guess there's nothing left to do but crack them open and take a look inside. So this was my first time taking a Wii apart, and it was a bit of a challenge, to be honest. In hindsight, I probably should have checked some videos and tutorials on how to do it. But first I had to take out these two tri-wing screws from the case. Then there was a Phillips screw on the bottom. And I mistakenly took off one of the feet here, but in fact there was no screws beneath these feet. So I just stuck it back on. And there were screws behind these, they look like plastic covers really, sticky plastic covers. I took those off and you have these little tri-wing screws beneath those. Well, one of them was a tri-wing screw and the other two at the bottom, they were actually Phillips screws. So I took out the two Phillips and then tackled the tri-wing screw at the top. Then along the side we have another two of those sticky covers, and these were little Phillips screws. Then I started to take out the screws along the top to take off that black cover. There were three little Phillips screws up there. That allowed me to take off the front, and I noticed this little plug here that's connecting to the LEDs along the front, so I took that out. And I still couldn't get it open, so there are obviously more hidden screws. There's a screw here that when I undid it, it took out the battery, which wasn't essential to keeping it together, but underneath the battery there was another screw which was holding the case together. So I had to take that out. Then underneath the black cover I found another 4 screws. 2 of them tri-wing screws and 2 of them Phillips screws. And finally, all of that done, I could open the case and the shield just came right off. Whew, that was a mission. Anyway, here is the inside of the Wii, and listen to this. Could that rattly sound be our problem? Is that the sound of something inside the drive that's causing the issues? So let's open up the drive and find out. It looks like we have a few screws, Phillips screws along here. Once I take that off, hopefully I'll be able to open the drive and take a look inside. See if that lifts off now. There we go. Okay, so what's causing that sound? Can't see anything. Aha. Is that our problem? Was that loose stuck in the drive and causing the drive issues? Or did that just come out now? That does look like part of the Wii. It does look like it belongs in there, although I have no idea where that goes. Let's have a look. Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue where that goes. So let's take a close-up look. It's definitely part of the Wii. What I'm going to have to do is, I have my other Wii here. Maybe if I open that up, I can use that and cross-reference it, find out where this little piece of plastic goes. So on to Wii number 2. This one also has disk drive issues. Ooh, I think I've noticed something already. One of these things is not like the others. What is that? I've got to find my tweezers. Where did I put those? Oh, there they are. Feels like paper. Let's see if I can pull it out. Let me zoom in a bit for you so we can see what it is together. It looks like yellow paper. Is that, I mean, it could be as simple as that. It could be this yellow paper that's causing the discs to be spat out. It looks like a pre-owned game label. What does it say? What game is that? Pokemon. Right, could that be, that could possibly be the issue that's causing the discs to not work in this one. Could it be as simple as that? Okay, well, I'm going to take off the metal cover anyway, just so we can use this as a cross-reference for the other Wii to find out where that bit of plastic goes. Okay, we've got both drives open. Here's our plastic piece. Let's play Spot the Difference. And I still don't know where it came from. Unless, what is that down the side? That looks like it could be it. So, looking at the Wii, that should have that plastic bit intact. We are seeing this thing that looks a lot like this thing. At least I think it is. Let's take a look at the other drive just to see if it has that side plastic bit. And there we go, it's not there. I think that's it, you know. Okay, so it goes this way around, I think. Does that just slide in there? Put the ribbon cable just behind it. Let's see, there we go, it just slots in there like that. I think it's pretty loose. Is the other one loose as well? Do you know what? I think that wasn't loose until I opened it up, and I've turned the drive upside down. It's probably fallen out. I'm not sure that was the problem to begin with. There's probably something else wrong with that drive because, yeah, look, see, these come out quite easily. This is probably fallen out. So, you know what? Maybe if I take the whole drive assembly out and we can have a closer look to see if there is something there, because I did hear something rattling about. So we've got 4 screws here and they all look to be Phillips. So let's take those out and see if we can find out what the issue is. To take the CD drive off completely, looks like I'm going to have to disconnect this ribbon cable, and there's a plug at the back too. But listen to this. There is something rattling about. So I'm getting closer. Let's take off the CD drive and see if whatever's rattling about is in there. Okay, we're getting closer. Listen to this. Whatever's loose is definitely in this CD drive. Alright, so I think I spotted the problem. It's hard to show on camera, but I noticed something really wedged in the front of the drive there. So I'm going to take off this kind of clamp assembly that clamps the disc in the drive. Then I'm going to try and pull out whatever stuck in there. It's stuck in pretty tight, so I might need to disassemble it some more, but we'll see how we go. Come on, I think we're close. That's really stuck in tight. Whatever that is, it looks like a stone maybe. I think we got it. Hit that. There we go. What is that? It looks like a stone, but it's not. It's almost plastic. It has a plastic feel to it. I don't think that's part of the Wii. I'm not sure what that is. It's like a hard plastic pellet. Strange, but that's probably what's causing the drive issues in this one. So could it be as simple as a sticker and a plastic ball? That could be what's causing our drive issues. Alright, so let's partially reassemble these and give them a go. They might be working now. Okay, so I partly reassembled the Wiis. I haven't put them together completely just in case there's still some issues there. So let's try Wii number 1. And success! It seems to be reading the disc. Now an update is required before I can play the game, but the disc is reading. It wasn't doing that before. It's spitting the disc out. Great, now on to the second one. Okay, so I'll show you this one close up so you can see the disc drive in action. There's a lot of moving parts to it that are involved in the disc feeding mechanism you'll see here. Ooh, that doesn't sound too hot. Ah, and we have an error. An error has occurred. Press the eject button to remove the disc. So great, looks like we have another issue to solve. Maybe if I turn it on its side, I know the Wii can read discs on the side as well as laying down flat. Let's also give the lens a bit of a clean. I've got some isopropyl alcohol and a cotton swab. I'll just get that in there. No, I'm still getting an error. Okay, so at this point I decided just to play around the Wii a bit more. First I want to try and fix that noise the disk drive was making. I thought that might be related to the disk drive issues. I found that if I removed that top metal plate, the noise would go away completely. And so what I did was I played around with the tightness of the screws along that top metal plate by loosening them a little bit, and it seemed to fix most of the sound issues that I was getting from the drive, but the drive was still showing an error. But then with the metal plate off, I thought I would clean the lens a bit more thoroughly now that I have better access to it. And lo and behold, when I tested it out again, it was working. So the issue seemed to be whatever was in that disk drive along with a bit of a dirty lens, and that was it. And there we go, now we have 3 working Wiis. Now granted, 2 of them are not in the best cosmetic condition, they've seen better days, but at least they work now. And we got some 3 stuff. I got a piece of paper and a weird plastic thing. I would have preferred that there would be a game disc stuck in one of them, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Now this one with the so-called AV issues, that's actually not in too bad condition apart from that top flap. And I got these flaps off AliExpress, these replacement flaps. They were super cheap. And so it might be worthwhile actually replacing this broken one here at the top. So I'm going to move these Wiis aside. Okay, that pops out pretty easy. Now I'm going to get my replacement one, and I'm just going to turn it towards you so you can see there's 2 joints here for the hinges to go. It's not popping in as it should. One of them is in. I think there's some leftover broken hinge in there. So I'm going to have to pick that out first. Pop. Oh, that's one way to do it. Alright, that should go in pretty easy now. And there we are. It matches the colour quite well actually. I will replace the back one though because it is slightly a different colour. So might as well do the other one since I've got another back one spare too. So there we go, I guess I'll leave it there. If you do like this stuff, if you do like this kind of content, check out my channel, I've got other videos there. And if you like it enough to consider subscribing, that would be appreciated also. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next fix video.